You said earlier in answer to Congressman Smith that on Benghazi, they didn't get the threat information. Now, I understand that threat information may be a term of art, but to Mr. Westmoreland's point earlier, certainly a bomb blowing up on the side of a wall, the whole litany of events that took place beginning March 18th, 2012, until the first time there was a communication from Ambassador Stevens, isn't that enough information? So you're not saying nobody was aware of the nature of the threat. Is the threat a term of art?
There was no specific threat information that had been developed by the intelligence community.
In other words, these people are coming over the hilltop at this moment in time. Okay, let me ask you this.
As I said, we don't normally get that. I think your point that there were a number of different things going on, I think people were aware of the overall level of instability.
The ARB says one thing 2 times about Ambassador Stevens, and it's worth noting. They said this about him: his status as the leading U.S. government advocate on Libya policy and his expertise on Benghazi in particular caused Washington to give unusual deference to his judgments. They said that on page 6 of the report. They cut and pasted it. They liked it so much, they put it on page 34 of the report. And yet, ignoring the ambassador, who by their own admission is the expert in the area, and ignoring his requests for support, that's not giving unusual deference to his judgments, is it, Mr. Secretary?
Difficult question, Congressman.
No, it's very straightforward.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's a difficult question. I think that Chris Stevens was a tremendous ambassador with a tremendous
Look, there's no question that he was tremendous. There's no question that he was a hero. He made specific requests of the department. The department in the ARB said this person is uniquely qualified, Secretary, and he was ignored.
And I think this is why the ARB recommendations are what they are.
Well, this is why the ARB recommendations and the panel say you can't have this kind of waiver authority. When Ms. Roby asked you the question, are there any plans for temporary facilities in the future, you were pretty clever in how you responded. You said, we don't have any plans for it, and I'm not likely, and I'm paraphrasing now, I'm not likely to approve it. And you know what that tells me? That tells me you can do it all again. You're not offering anything as it relates to fundamental change, because based on what the rules are right now, Mr. Secretary, you have the authority, you have the capacity, and you've got the flexibility to do the Benghazi structure again. Am I wrong?
The rules have been changed. Who is responsible is clearly defined.
Who is responsible is 4th down on the food chain, and by your own
sir, I would disagree with that. I am responsible.
Yeah, but I'm telling you,
the latest example when we're trying to open a facility in southern Turkey. We had a request to put personnel in on the ground for start operations, for humanitarian operations. They're in their TDY. We need a facility. We are in the process of leasing a facility. We know where it's going to be. A request came to me from the people on the ground saying, can we use it in advance of the security upgrades being accomplished? My answer, no.
Okay, that's beautiful. And in light of Mr. Cummings' response and his admonition to us that we're here for a season, you're going to be there for a season. And in another season, someone is going to succeed you. And in that new season, when someone with your judgment and your deference doesn't have that level of capacity and they don't have your kind of stick and your background, they're going to be under tremendous pressure and they're going to say yes.